All right, so we got sent this mystery box. It's been sitting in my living room for like 2 weeks now. I was supposed to do a video on it a while back, but better late than never, right? Let's see what we got in here. Hey!
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually really cool. So the reason I asked for this is because before this last spring update, Apple Music on the Tesla was a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It sucked. It still kind of sucks, but the idea behind it is this product allows Apple CarPlay to be integrated. So my thought process was, if we can get Apple CarPlay on this, we don't have to worry about using Apple Music in the cars, so then we don't have to worry about the worst experience possible. So we're gonna go ahead and install this. I'll show you guys step by step how to do it, and then we'll see how it works and how it looks. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at what's inside here. We got a bunch of cables and a camera, a bunch of different cables here, USB-C to open pins. We'll see what that's about. Extension cable, your main wiring harness control box right here that's going to plug into the OBD2. You got your little pry tool. Over on this side, you have the arm that's going to attach to the vent system and hold the main product, which is the screen. So you'll see that kind of attaches in there like that, and then holds your screen right in front of the steering wheel.
Can we go back to the tools? I want to see those baby tools.
It's just the one.
Oh my god, it's a single baby tool?
Yep.
Is it like good quality?
It's okay. There's more flex than like the ones that we have, but for what we're using, you don't really need something heavy duty. You're pulling apart panels that are pretty easy to take out.
Fair enough.
Speaking of which, let's get that started. First step for this install is we want to pull this off. I'm gonna keep that actually just off to the side there. And these two panels come off. First one, it's gonna be this one right here. Using the included tool, we can just go in there, pop it off, pop it off. There we go. And then we remove this panel right here, same thing. This is why I always say have your own tools.
Do you want me to go get yours?
No, I'm just gonna use my hands here. There we go. That part's done. You'll see there's already a cable here because I ran this earlier last year. I'm gonna keep that there. It's actually really cool because that's tied into the OBD2 as well. So we're gonna have two things into the OBD2. Let's move on to the next side and we'll take some more panels off. All right, so for this next part, we're gonna remove this seal right here and then pretty much do the same thing again where we remove these two right here. It sounds like it's breaking, I promise it's not. Remove that. Now right here, what you'll actually see is there's a little pin that has to come off. So take that off, and once that's off, we can remove this entire door sill. I like to start from down here, just because from that other side it's a little complicated. But start from here, lift up, and then lift out this way. And then if you can see in here, this is the mess of wires from the last install that I did. It's kind of all just hanging there, which is fine. We're just gonna add more wires to that. So this next step, this whole thing right here has to come off.
It's a little dusty.
And be cleaned a little bit apparently. But all right, full send.
Here's to hoping.
Put in there and pry up. Ooh, okay. Whoa. Yeah, the whole thing just came up. Now, does this come out or? It does.
Do you want me to just, so right here?
Yeah, just lift towards you, or pull towards you.
Oh, goodness. Nothing broke.
Haha! The whole thing comes out just like that. In case you're wondering, none of this voids the warranty because we're not doing any permanent modifications. Everything you can see here, they're just these plastic divots right here. They're held in. Here, let me move this out of the way so you can see better. All of these are just metal clips that go all the way through. So no permanent modification needing to be done. Okay, so this next part, not gonna lie, was a little bit confusing. Pass the wiring through the bracket and then into the 39th hole of the upper trim. And then the bracket itself has to go into 37, 38, 40, and 41. And looking at it now, yeah, it's kind of straightforward, but initially I was like, what is this talking about? But basically, these little holes right here, each of them counts as one, and we're looking for the 39th hole to run the wires through, and then holes 37 through 41, where this bracket is gonna go through. So let's just start counting here. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
Doesn't it concern you at all that these are running through where the heat and AC go?
Nope. Any other questions?
No, I'm just concerned. Like my curiosity would be, are the cables gonna melt if I put the heater on high?
No, they won't. Oh, both cables have to run through there. Okay.
Rip.
Okay, so I ran them through now, and what I'm realizing is there's a hole at the bottom right here. In the instructions, it doesn't actually say to run it through this hole, but it kind of makes sense to run it through the hole, because otherwise it's sitting like that, and I don't think that's the way it's intended to sit. So I'm just gonna run through here. If it doesn't work, I could always pull it out and try another solution, but I think this just makes sense. So I don't know how well you can see, but it's gonna go right there, and we're just gonna push it in. There we go. If you look on the back side here, all 4 of these did clip around the cable, so we know we're good. And that means that is now sturdy. Next step. Okay, both of these cables, one is for the camera, one is for the actual control box that connects to the car. I'm not connecting the camera this run yet, just because I have other things that I want to work on first before adding the camera. But I'm going to keep it there just so that it's ready to go when I do decide to run that. So one of them is going to be ignored. The main connector is going to be for the control box, and now we get to install this beauty.
It's bigger and smaller than I thought it was going to be at the same time.
Do we take the screen off right now or wait?
How would you have done it in a professional install?
Ripped it off right away.
You're a psycho.
So plugged in, 2 USBs. One of them is for 5-volt power and data. The other one is for dash cam, which again, we're not going to connect now, but going to run the cables through and have it sit flush. Line up that hole and then slide it down. And just like that, it's set.
Wow.
It actually looks really cool. It's like really clean.
Now what?
Now we put it back.
All right.
I put it in position here. The cables are down here. I'm just gonna run them down for now. I'm gonna put this in position first. And before I forget, I need to put my little sensors here back too. These are important. Now from how it came out, it should be able to just push in and down, right?
I would assume so.
What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go on the passenger side first because I have more space over there to see how it's done, and then work my way back to the driver's side. I'm gonna run the cables just so I don't have to worry about this anymore. I'm gonna run them through here. I don't know, probably underneath this thing. We'll be fine. So that's 1, and that's 2.
That's tight.
It's about as tight as it's gonna get.
Oh.
Haha! I'm probably gonna have to get that side done first and then push it all in together. Okay, so basically what I had to do is hope and pray and just push it back all the way. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Just push back and hope that it lines up.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh.
There's a clip somewhere that fell, but you know what?
Stuff happens.
I don't care. And it's like nothing happened. Eventually I'll find that clip and replace it and fix it, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Okay, let's take this off. It's a little wobbly, actually. It's as stuck as it's gonna get. Let's move on to the connector side. What you're gonna wanna do here, because we are disconnecting the OBD2, is you wanna turn the car off safely. In your main menu, go to where it says safety, scroll down, you're gonna see a button that says power off. That's basically gonna turn off all of the safety features and all the data connectors on here so that nothing gets fried while you're working on the cables. So power off. Are you sure you want to power off? Place foot on brake to turn power back on. Go ahead and turn it off. And everything gets shut down. Now we can move over to the cabling. For those of you that have seen my previous videos, you'll know that I already installed this connector right here, which is the OBD2. and it created basically like a T-harness that you can work with. We have to now add more stuff to that T-harness, which should be fine. You can add multiple things to it. You just have to keep in mind when you're plugging it in where it's going to sit. You'll see the OBD2. This is the factory OBD2. This is the T-harness, and now I plugged this connector to it as well. Same thing for this connector right here. This is the T-harness for this connector. Unplug it, plug ours in, plug this in, and we now have more of a mess. But the benefit about this is that you still have the open OBD2, although it's daisy chained a little bit. We'll have to figure out how to hide it all once we're done. We see a green light here, which means it's powered on. And then we add the connectors on here, plug it in, and then we should be done. We should be able to test it out right away.
Cool.
So this is a flat cable, which means the cables inside of here, or the wires inside of here, are already oriented in the way they want you to connect them. You don't want to cross any wires. You don't want them like crisscrossing each other. This connector right here, you'll see it has a red side. That's where the red cable plugs into. I'm assuming that's like your standard 12-volt connector. Now this part is going to be really hard to see because they're really small wires, but you're going to see this little, I don't know what to call it, this little lip right there. That goes face up on these connectors. So when it goes in, it's going to go in like that and clip into that position. You'll actually hear that clip when it goes in. There we go. And we're just going to do the same thing for the other 3 cables. And remember, while doing this, you do not want to cross the wires. The order that they came in from the cabling, from the cable here, is the order that you're going to plug them in.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
This just won't work because it's probably like you have your 12-volt wire, ground wire, and then 2 data wires. If the 2 data wires are switched, depending on how it's working, or like depending on how this is programmed, it might not matter because you're just seeing ones and zeros, but the power and ground could fry one of them. So now that it's all in, I just want to make sure again that it's all pushed in as far as it goes. And then we plug it in. No magic smoke, and the screen just turned on. I can see it from here, so we are good.
Sweet.
All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna hit the brakes. That's gonna turn on the car and hopefully connect to this system. It's on, so we know that we wired it correctly. Now let's see if it actually communicates correctly. Car is on. Doesn't look like there was any issues with it. That's volume. System controls display. I mean, it does show on the corner saying that we're not buckled. I wonder if we're gonna have to actually like drive it to see what it does. So turns out I'm an idiot. Remember the 2 cables that we plugged in? I plugged in the camera cable, and that's why I was getting enough power to turn on, but not enough power to read all the information. So now that it's plugged in, you can see it actually shows everything. Oh yeah. And now the steering wheel switches through the different screens here. And what I'm curious about is how it does Apple CarPlay. So let's try to connect that and see what happens.
I'm excited to have something that shows the speed in front of my face, because when I have autopilot on and I look to adjust the speed, it yells at me to pay attention.
Okay, I think what we're gonna have to do is actually close everything up and then test it once we're driving.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll regroup once it's all put back together. All right, got everything set up, got everything closed up. Okay, so it says press and hold brake, which I'm doing so, and it's not really doing anything. So let's put our seatbelts on, see if anything happens. Okay, gonna go into reverse. So it does show that it's in reverse. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drive around the block to see like how it works, how it operates. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It shows the speedometer right there, so it tells you what the speed limit is. It gives you your, I'm assuming that's internal temperature. So it shows your internal temperature, your odometer, current drive, all this fun stuff right here. I'm trying to get Apple CarPlay to work, so that's what I'm struggling with right now. Guys, this is bad. So Apple CarPlay is officially connected and working. It doesn't work like I thought it would. I'm so disappointed. I'm probably gonna get copyright strike for this, but okay. My phone is connected. I try to play. It's playing from there. I can't even turn it down. It doesn't control anything. It doesn't play through any of the speakers in the car. It plays through that. That's not, I don't want Apple CarPlay like that. That's not the point. Oh my God. I'm going to try to mess around with it to see if there's a way to get this audio to the car, but it doesn't look like there is right now. Okay. I figured it out. Apparently you're supposed to connect your phone to this right here, but then you also connect your phone to here. So you're essentially just playing Bluetooth from your phone to the radio, or to the car. And then you're able to control this from here. But it begs the question, like, what's the point then of doing it this way, since the whole point of this was to have better sound quality? Yeah, cool, I have, like, CarPlay on here now, but it's still, like, it's still playing from the phone.
Yeah, it's not any different than Bluetoothing directly from your phone to the radio, which was a bad solution to begin with.
Oh, and then here's the thing. Cool. So I'm going to flick this once to the right, and look what happens on the screen here. One flick. It skips 2 songs. Every time. One flick, 2 songs. One flick, 2 songs. So I can't even use it to actually, like, do anything. I'm going to try one more test here, just to see if it's even worth it. Maybe having Apple CarPlay enabled, but not for music, just for like Siri, I guess. So we'll see how that works. I have music playing directly from Tesla. So this is on Apple Music on the Tesla app. This is just to show gauges. So my question is, can we use this as a way to get text messages in and out using Siri while not having to directly have to use, like, the Apple CarPlay feature enabled? So let's start driving home, and I'll see if I can enable full self-driving to see what that looks like on here too. So just a regular drive home. Still doesn't know where it's going.
Doesn't know how to get out of here.
Okay, just a regular drive home. Okay, so now let's say I'm chilling, I'm listening to music, and my wife texts me. So let's see if that goes through here. Nope, not even. It goes through Tesla's thing as well. The only thing it does is just give you this. Okay.
Womp womp.
I mean,
No.
No, you're right.
Don't lie about it. No. Like, am I grateful to see the speed limit up there? Yes. But is it worth the work that we put in?
That's all it does.
Really, no.
That's all it does. And I mean, hey, if I installed this wrong, if I'm actually missing something that's not, like, fully visible, first of all, make it known in the instruction manual. But, like, I don't know, let me know if I messed something or if I missed something, because, like, that's not cool.
We read all the instructions. We went through. It says that you're supposed to be able to go through functions and change songs and everything with the same controls on the steering wheel, and I don't know.
Anyway, if you think it's cool enough to get, go ahead and get it. I will leave a link in the description below. Personally, for me, it's not for me. I'm gonna keep it on here just because, like, they sent it to us. It's cool. It's cool to look at, but I don't know. I might end up removing it eventually. If there's something better out there, I might get that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was a trip. Peace.